Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And I have been asked a question today I thought I would do a live stream on. So if you've been following my channel, been watching the daily financial news, there's a couple of things I've been talking about, and now we're going to try to tie them all together. First and foremost, inflation CPI is bad. It was reported at 6.8. I actually think it's 10%, which is really bad. I believe it is time to call a spade, and the CPI number that reports 3.8% increase in rent is just wrong. So again, we did the math for you yesterday evening. There is a live stream video for you to watch if you want to go through the math. But let's just call CPI 10%, which of course stands for Consumer Price Index, food, fuel, and shelter. Now, really what the question is, Michael, you've been talking about interest rates rising. You're talking about the Fed meeting this Wednesday where they're going to accelerate the taper and potentially raise rates next year. As you know, we've been talking about a housing market that is heading to a slowdown, but still showing double-digit price increases. How can this all happen, right? There's lots of people that are still talking about price and trying to say that the price today is higher than the price in the last crash. Thus, the market must crash. Hopefully by now, you know that that's simplistic at best, and at worst, just wrong and total fraud. Then we have some folks that are talking about payments. Payments gets closer to the truth. However, lots of folks are talking about payments today being unaffordable. And again, what I would ask you to do is log in or get access to my free course. I've given you my 50 years of data, right? We went back to 1970 through 2021, so 51 years. And we've looked at data like wages, interest rates, price, family of fours income. All of the data is there, CPI, stocks. You have all the data, and instead of looking at one metric, you can look at every metric for every year. So it is really, really eye-opening and will tell you what's going on. So again, I think inflation is bad. I think it's worse than being reported. I think it's 10% at the consumer level, at least 10% at the consumer level. I believe that is going to force Jerome Powell to raise rates faster than he would like. So I believe rates are going up. I believe as rates go up, that will impact payments and housing will become less affordable. But here is the wrinkle. Here's the thing that is going unspoken. What is going on with wages? We are in a wage cycle. I experienced the 1970s. I remember sitting in gas lines as a kid. I remember when OPEC had their embargo, what happened, right? America shut down. We had gas lines. It was crazy. I remember the 80s with Paul Volcker taking rates up and how it really created a recession. But to simply talk about price and interest rates is to be missing a third vector or a third critical variable, and that is wages. For example, in the 50-year spreadsheet, you can go look it up. It's in my free course. Here are the metrics. Incomes. Incomes. We'll start with incomes. Incomes in 1970 for a family of four were $8,700. Incomes in 1979 were $16,461 for an increase of 88%. Not bad. Let's talk about interest rates. Interest rates start 1970s at 8.5. By the end of 1979, they are 11.2%. So again, interest rates went up 31%. So let me ask you, remember what these other channels are telling you. If interest rates go up, housing has to fall. Wrong. Housing started 1970 with an average of $24,000 for a family home, single family home. By 1979, they were $48,800. So again, housing doubled, interest rates went up 31%. And to listen to other channels and other speakers, that is impossible. Well, it is because they are either missing it on purpose or simply don't know to look at wages. Wages went up 88%. And because housing is a leveraged business, meaning you bring in 3 or 5 or 10% down, if your income goes up 88%, you can afford more house even with a higher interest rate. So again, just because prices are above 2006 does not mean there's a problem. Just because we have higher interest rates doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem. We must watch wages. Now the question is, what is going to happen with wages over the next 1, 2, 3 years? That is the $1,000,000 question. I happen to believe we are in a wage cycle. I believe wages will be going up 5, 6, 7% year on year for the next couple of years. If that's right, then housing will go up even if rates go up. If I am wrong, which happens all the time, if wages are flat or if wages are down, woo, watch out. The other thing to think about is there's lots of people who think cheaper housing markets are safer. Again, you're looking at price. It's not necessarily a theory of their economy. It is not about price. Lots of people go broke buying cheap. You need to look at the local economy. What is going on, simply said, with population and wages? Is it growing or shrinking? Are wages increasing or shrinking? I think about Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas was a market we talked about this morning on my daily financial news, which is a news show we've done for 1,000 days in a row at 7:30 a.m. Austin is crazy expensive. It has seen a remarkable appreciation, rent increases of 25%. Why? Population. Population has gone up 25%, and you simply can't build housing fast enough. So is Austin screaming unaffordable? Maybe if you just look at graphs, but if you know what's going on with the economy and realize all the demand for housing, it's not like it's a great investment, but saying that Austin is set up for a crash without looking at the population and wage increases is dangerous. So when I think about inflation in 2022, I think for the number one, rates go up. I think the 30-year mortgage, which we'll call 3 point, what do you want to call it? 3.1 today. I think knocks on the door of 4%, somewhere between 3.8 and 4%. It is higher in a year from now. I think housing prices need to slow down. I think having back to back to back double digit increases is dangerous. I would like to see prices increase less than 10%. These are national numbers. And then finally, wages. If wages are flat, we got a problem. I do not think we have, I think wages are going up. Look at the labor participation. We had a lot of baby boomers retire early. Look at all the new LLCs and solo entrepreneurs in this new gig economy creating businesses. In order to get people back to work, you have to pay more. I was reading an article about general managers at Taco Bell making $75,000 a year now. Folks, I think wages are going up, certainly for the next several years. That does not mean housing will double again. I do not think that is safe. But I do not see screaming red flags unless wages are flat. Again, remember, if you read my book, One Rental at a Time, housing affordability is the number one metric I have used to save my butt. It saved my butt in '06. It allowed me to sell my homes and buy apartments right before the crash. I've done it before and I will do it again. Right now, affordability in my market is very, very safe. And if prices continue to rise and interest rates, I will be watching wages. Wages are the great variable that no other real estate channels talk about because they don't understand. So hopefully this makes sense. I do think inflation is a problem. The Fed, you have better step on the, take your foot off the gas. You got to step on the brake. You got to slow this thing down. It is becoming a problem. Now, if you're still watching, I have one question for you. I finally got these in this afternoon. It says, do the work in black and do the work in white. I'm curious, what do you like better? Black or white? These are now going to become my new workout hats. Do the work. It is something I say all the time. Daily discipline, focus, do the work. This is how you learn your real estate business. This is important stuff. Price, interest rate, and wages. Don't forget to look at wages, population, things of that nature. I hope you have a wonderful day. Inflation is a problem. It is worse than they are talking about. Powell, Wednesday, you better start taper faster. You need to raise rates. We can't keep the party going. There are danger signs out there. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.